Are you ready? I said, are you ready? You are listening to Voice of the Fans Sportscast, brought to you by none other than the voices of the fans. Discussing football, basketball, news, trending topics. The one-stop shop for all things sports. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Hosted by none other than Ben Swift Reynolds, Taylor Gatwood, 100% RC, Professor Damian Flowers, and Tyler Wright.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Voice of Fan Sportscast. I'm your host, of course, Ben Swift Reynolds, and we have Sound Crow with us tonight. What's going on, man?
How's it going, Ben?
Man, it's going pretty good for a Tuesday night.
Yeah, thinking the same thing.
Just been trying to work on getting the show ready. You know how it is.
Yep, I do. I do indeed.
So, and you know, we were talking about backstage of how all these subscriptions now, it's like you got to pay a boatload in order to get what you need done, which is kind of crazy.
Yep. Sad. It's sad.
What's the world coming to, right?
I mean, I get, again, we get it, everybody, but when you're trying to, especially for average people, like, people that do podcasts, some of these folks are like, regular families. They're not celebrity types. They're not the people that are necessarily making career aspirations at it. It should be a little more affordable. I mean, you shouldn't be, bleeding anybody extra because people pay enough. We pay enough on average, bills and everything else. You shouldn't make it unreasonable. So I think there's got to be some level of compromise, I guess, in the manner of speaking. So maybe somebody will figure that out one day. Who knows?
Cause you already know we paying for all these subscriptions. Then sudden. Because you can't go cheap, you go cheap, your quality's bad.
Exactly.
So you're kind of like forced to pay this amount of money in order to get your show going, in order to get everything else going. So it's kind of like you have your hands tied, pretty much. Like, you don't want to show crappy. You don't want to show crappy quality.
No,
I don't. So I want to like try to get the best that I can to present to people, especially if I'm gonna be live and stuff.
Yeah. But it's just rough. It's like, you don't want to be like, you can't really bleed me either, because I mean, there's got to be, a point where, it's like, how much can you stretch it? How much can you stretch that dollar? So, I mean, I get it, but it's a lot,
So I have a question. We're going to start off with some WNBA and everything. Have you seen the new CC logo?
I didn't actually. I heard something about it, but I actually haven't seen it.
Let me see. Can I pull a picture up for you?
Okay.
I might have it. Let me see. This is one of the cards I use for TikTok, but here it is. You see, it's at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, interesting.
That's the new Caitlin Clark logo.
Oh, okay. That's
you looking like you discussed it right now.
I'm trying to figure out where it starts, where it ends. I mean, I get it. I'm like, I kind of see the shape. Okay. I mean, it's different. I mean, definitely it's eye catching. I'll give it that. I mean, that's black and white is down to the nitty gritty, so you can't go much plainer than that.
Yeah,
but
it's just the black 2 C's. The white background is something that I copied to make it pop up.
Yeah,
but that's the logo. The 2
I mean,
C's right there.
It could be. It could be worse. I mean, I've seen all kinds of crazy things. So that's not far out of left field. It's nothing crazier. I've seen other people do different kind of trademarking different things. So, hey, if it works, it works. I mean, I'm always about trying something new too. So you got to brand yourself and keep it hip. So why not?
I don't know. I feel like they took the lazy approach. It's just like when they did Asia Wilson shoe, it was kind of bland. It's kind of like, here you go, shut up, here's your shoe. And I feel like this CC logo's like, here you go. They didn't put no thought into it. They're like, we'll just take 2 C's and kind of put it together to make it pop. But to me,
no color.
It don't look
Like,
terrible. It just look bland. Like they went in the meeting room for a couple of minutes. Like, hey, what you got? Like, man, that's all I got. Like, all right, let's roll with it. Wrap it up, guys. Let's go. Let's get this in production.
I mean, not even like, I mean, I'm not saying, because I know obviously the career can change, but not even like any fever colors, anything associated with, like, I like color for me, so I would like to see a little more pop that way, but I don't know. It's hard to say what the idea was behind it. So maybe, did she have it planned that way? Was it a disappointment to her? I guess it could be a lot of things. Who knows?
They probably talked to her about it before, they went along with it. Yes.
That's what I would think too.
It's just weird that that's the logo they came up with.
I mean, I would have thought something. I would have gone a different direction myself, but I wasn't asked. So
you're not on the board, huh?
And I wasn't paid either, so I wouldn't. If they didn't pay me, I wouldn't advise either. I wouldn't do it for free, especially I know the money she'll make. So
you know me, I would just put in ChatGPT like, "Hey man, I need a cool, modern, something related to basketball logo." And ChatGPT like, "All right, I got you." So I know ChatGPT would came with something better than that. But hey,
listen, even I've had in the past, I asked him to do it. Even Deanie could do better than that. He's helped me with some logo stuff.
Yeah.
He could do much better than that. So,
well, I don't know, the history, but Houdini, one who created our logo.
He mentioned that. Yeah, that's what I was like. And I asked him, like, you know what? Since he did that, I needed some other stuff. I said, would you mind? I didn't want to be presumptuous or give him more work, but he goes, no, I'll take care of it. And I gave him some ideas. I gave him some images, and he went to town. And I'm like, he says, well, how do you want? I said, I'll trust you completely. This is just what I need. And you go crazy with it. He showed me. I said, that's perfect. I couldn't have imagined it better myself. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We should have a fun contest. Like, hey, if you were to take this logo, what would you do with it? Because I'm sure he'd say, I would do this, this, and this. Yep.
Well, somebody need to revamp Caitlin Clark's logo.
I would.
Got one, and everybody been split. I've been reading the comments on it. Some people hate it. Some people think they copied with Chanel.
Yeah,
and they copied some other brands like Gucci, I guess, the GGs and everything. I mean, they could be right about that, but
possible.
I feel like they definitely could did a better job on that. But we're gonna move right along.
Okay.
Oh, what you about to say?
I was just gonna say my only question I had was if. My big issue is if that was the final product, how much did you pay to have that made? Because if you paid a lot of money for that, then I would be more upset. Because, I mean, I don't think it'd be worth it if you invested a lot to get this, super thing done, and this is the result. Mm-hmm. That's hopefully that's not the case, but I would be upset. So,
yeah,
money-wise.
Like, can we go back to the drawing board, please?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm paying for it, so why not? Try at least 3 times, and then we'll go with that.
So if you haven't heard, some WNBA players been talking about back-to-back games.
Yep.
And I have a video for you. Don't let her speak for herself. And you
tell
me what you think.
All right.
Terrible. That's my only comment on it. It's like they don't care about player safety. It's like they don't care about scheduling or whatever. And I mean, I only mentioned that one time in the beginning of the season, and I know people always love to come and say, oh, you guys want to get paid more, you guys need to play all these games, but at some point, there's a sports science to it, and yeah, it's honestly just like game on game on game on game. So we play tomorrow, and we're professional, and we'll do it.
So there you go. She talking about playing back-to-back games.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
Well, here's my thing. Again, it goes across the board with sports. I mean, safety is a big thing. I think we talked about this before too, about, players, they know what, I mean, in this case it was football, but athletes know what they're signing up for. It's nothing new playing back to back. That's not a new concept in sports. That's happened for, decades. And I know, cause I watched sports for a long time. My only thing is it's not to criticize back. It's just, you know what you signed up for. Being a professional athlete, it calls you to play on a high stage. And yes, even the WNBA, it's still professional level for women's sports. Give them credit for that. That you are at the epitome of a highly touted sport. The same thing like the NBA or the NFL, Major League Baseball, hockey, etc. You know the expectation is this could be called upon. It's almost like in baseball too. You have rain delays, and sometimes the weather doesn't play in your favor, and so you got to make it up. And most guys want to play. Now, just like in football's case, like if it's a preseason thing, are players being worked too hard? Are they playing too much? There's high risk and low reward. I could see that argument. Again, I don't think. Again, we said like for preseason, let your backups, let your depth play. If you know your starters are your starters, you don't have to push it. But if you're playing for something, and I use a quote because I heard him say this. Even Tom Brady said this recently in the NFL. He goes, "These guys are getting soft. They're all friends." He goes, "When I was playing, I'm a competitor. I wanted to do what it took to win, and I wanted to, climb to the top. I wanted to. That's why you win 7 titles. I mean, obviously, you did something right. So, and the point there again is professional athletes. You get paid. I mean, I know the WNBA is fighting the salary because they want to get equal pay or pay or scale like for NBA, and I get all that. So that could factor in as well. But the bottom line is you can't tell me you didn't know what you were signing up for. You knew that you're a professional athlete. You're going to be called upon, whatever the team asks you, whatever the league asks you. And again, unless there's a real safety concern, or like if you haven't, I've heard the argument players across the sports have said, I'm injured. And if a team forces you to play injured, that's a little bit different because that obviously, if you disclose that to the team that you are injured and they're forcing you to play, that's a whole different ball game itself. No pun intended. But just on the whole, because it makes it sound like, and again, I don't want to discredit her, make it seem, like I'm cheapening what she's saying, but it almost seems like it's borderline like a tantrum for that. Like, why are we playing? Like, I got to play. You're asked to play. You're a professional athlete, right? Don't you take pride in that? So I think there can be some fair points. But at the end of the day, again, you're an athlete, you're a pro athlete. This is your career. This is what you wanted to do. Unless you didn't read the fine print, you shouldn't be surprised that a league is asking you, hey, we want you out. Because especially like a Caitlin Clark or a Sophie Cunningham who are making headlines, that's more FaceTime on in a game where, television time, they're getting seen. That's making the league money. That's, drawing the fan interest in. Because you think about it, let's say you go to a game, an NBA game. Now, this is back in the hype. I wouldn't say recently, but let's say like when LeBron comes out. If you were going to a game, LeBron's like the hot money player on the market, and they tell you, oh, he's not playing tonight, the game that you get tickets for, is it really going to be that much exciting? Because you're hoping to see LeBron, right? So, FaceTime is important for that. That's where the revenue comes in. That's where the league and networks make money. So, and again, aside from the wage thing, I know they're a little bit underpaid. Maybe they need to be paid more. You play at your own risk too, but unless you're injured, that's what you have to do. I'm sorry. That's part of the nature of the game. So that's what I would say in response to that.
Well, they complain about back-to-back games.
Well, that's what I mean. But
that's like bare minimum,
right? That's what I'm saying.
Tough to, you know what I'm saying? Like, even as kids, you played in tournaments. You played back-to-back. Oh yeah,
I did all the time.
The thing is, she talked about player safety, and of course she used the word sports science. Apparently, I forgot who said this. They're like, well, women when they during certain periods of their life, they're more prone to injury. I haven't did no sports science study behind that, so I'm not saying she's a lie. But it's literally you playing basketball. You're not playing football.
Yeah,
basketball
or hockey or
you're not. It's not the 80s and 70s basketball.
No,
you getting punched in the face, elbow in the throat. You know what I'm saying? You're going out there and playing a game,
right?
Where it's not as physical. So they're like, well, they had a lot of injuries this year, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so has the NFL, so has the NBA.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
That could be something pointing towards more of y'all training more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, they didn't have all the injuries. When the WNBA blew on, they didn't have all the injuries. So it could be the training or wherever y'all doing too much downtime.
Yeah.
But y'all have all these things to take care of your bodies. So I don't want to hear about oh, the increase in injury. Well, we have all these other things, these supplements and training methods in place to bring down injuries, to
Right.
combat that.
Yeah.
So that it don't make any sense to complain about playing back-to-back games when the NBA do it. You say you want more money. Well, the NBA play back-to-back games. NHL,
Equality.
they get paid like crap, and they play 82 games. They play more
Yeah.
games than y'all. Y'all only play like 42 games.
Yeah.
MLB, they play
162.
162 games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They play double headers.
Yeah.
In the hot
That's
sun.
not uncommon.
My son played travel baseball. We be out there in the fields from like sometimes from 9 to like 5.
Yeah.
And they playing back. They get like a 30-minute rest, an hour rest, and they playing back there again on the hot field.
But they do it.
Turf. And they do it, and they not getting a large sum of money.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all bringing all these.
If he did, you could retire right now. So, you know.
Exactly. My son had me retire now. But you bringing all these demands.
Yeah, no.
And you trying to create a product where you saying, okay, we need all these stipulations in order to us to move ahead. Well,
right.
Like I said, we were talking about money and revenue. Well, you're not bringing that much money to demand all these things. Point A, B, C, D. Like, dang, do the league have to be perfect? Do they got to cater to every little thing?
No, they can't do it.
Y'all play. There's people that wake up early in the morning. They work sometimes 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Juggling families, juggling second job, juggling taking care of themselves, working out, juggling, community work, juggling whatever, man. And y'all complaining about back-to-back when we have people out here that making $40K a year working 6 days a week.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like I said, again, what the contract, what it is to be an athlete. You sign up, this is part of the territory. And now the only thing again here too is like if there was data to suggest, players, there's a rash of injuries all of a sudden, and if there was some concrete proof behind why that could be dangerous, I could see a little more validity to it. But that's why I'm saying, and again, I hate to make it sound like I'm not saying it to be like a crybaby mentality, but you're basically saying, woe is us, and we have to go out, and it's so horrible because we're on the court, And that's the other thing. At least you're indoors. You're playing an indoor sport there. You're not playing on a football or baseball field in the heat. I mean, again, it's not you take a fall, it's a hardwood floor, but it's not like there's worse situations that could be a lot more detrimental to your health. So, but then you make a good point too. WNBA wants to be paid equally like the NBA. Well, you got to live up to the same standards that the NBA does. And these guys that especially have done it for a long time, this is part of the job. This is what they do. So if you want that, you got to step up. It's just plain and simple.
You got to step up. You can't be crying about back-to-backs when there's a ton of other leagues that do it. There's a ton of kids that play back-to-back games.
Yep.
Football players, 7-on-7. Like I said, travel baseball. All the other people were playing back-to-back games in the same day in tournaments.
Yep.
Sometimes 3-day tournaments.
Yeah. Depending on the league. Yeah. It's just part of the territory.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all just can't come out with a list of demands when y'all really don't have anything backing y'all up.
Exactly.
To give you all those demands. They're going to be some give and take.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe that's not important. Maybe back-to-back games not more important than one more like better flights and better hotels and better scheduling. Maybe that's not. Maybe that we push that to the back burner. Maybe we just want to say, okay, we just need better scheduling.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like
exactly. You could make it a little bit more. You can make it a little bit more user friendly, where open the dialogue for discussions about hey. Because it sounds like you're criticizing the league, which that never goes over well anyway. You're not gonna draw much.
I agree. I agree. The scheduling does suck, but y'all gonna have to play back-to-back games. Like there's no ands buts about it.
No, and you have no wiggle room to make demands again. So until you got, sometimes you got to play the game again. No pun intended, but. You got to play the game until sometimes maybe an opportunity where the league, because the leagues change all the time. They look at rule changes. They look at all kinds of things. Maybe there's an opportunity down the road, but you got to keep it diplomatic where, you're not alienating the public. You're not blasting the league publicly, because that's essentially what she's doing.
Exactly.
you got to keep the dialogue friendly. And you never know. Maybe at some point, representatives from the league will say, hey, you know, we're hearing some things. We're talking. What can we talk about? You know, or is there some, you know, we want to air some grievances. We can talk. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to change much, but at least the dialogue is friendly back and forth. You're not saying we want this and we deserve this. And if we don't get, because what are they going to do? They're going to go on strike too and say, well, okay,
And
then
that's
we're
the
not going to
last thing
play.
they want to do is have a lockout. Trust me.
Exactly.
That's the last thing you want to do.
Which doesn't solve anything anyway. It just makes it worse. So, you know, I think she's got to keep it, play the game, and when the opportunity comes to make some adjustments, take it. But until that time, don't cause yourself any more drama that you don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not worth it.
Bring drama to the table. Don't bring
No.
drama to the table. All right, we're gonna move on here to Shedeur, right?
Yep.
A lot of people were saying he was set up to fail. So I have a video to show. And you tell me what you think. I have 2 videos to show. So first we're gonna watch Eric Dickerson
Okay.
talk about Shedeur. Then we're gonna listen to TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Okay. Both great players, so this is going to be good.
What I heard from someone that's in the NFL, that the NFL told other, don't draft him, do not draft him. We're gonna make an example out of him. And this came from a very good source, And he said that, I won't say who, somebody called the Cleveland Browns and said, don't do that. Draft
Really?
him. Yep, draft him. Don't do that. Because they weren't going to draft him either. They weren't going to draft him.
All right, so here's the other video. Here it is.
Shedeur, the game today, TJ, why do you think the Browns played it the way they did, and Shedeur's performance today?
From my assessment, y'all, they don't want a controversy. That's how they don't want to because we know what Flacco can do. Why does Flacco start in the game? We know what he can do. He led y'all to the playoffs the last time y'all let him play. So if you're trying to figure out who you gonna play in case Flacco gets hurt, Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur, you let them split the game. Tyler Huntley's getting cut tomorrow.
Yeah.
You let them battle it out. And so to me, it was like, wow, you put him in with guys that's gonna be on the street tomorrow. They all getting cut, Shannon. Everybody Shedeur played with. They getting cut tomorrow or Monday. And so you didn't get this man a fighting chance to compete. He went into a gunfight with 2 knives. He gonna lose that every time.
Yeah.
All right, so that was TJ Houshmandzadeh on why Shedeur has failed. What's your thoughts?
Again, I said this too before. When the depth chart came out, Shedeur at 4. I mean, aside from the off the field incidents, all right, let's just forget about that just for a second. I know it plays a factor, but just speaking pure football and talent, okay? I was still perplexed that he dropped to the 5th round. Now, obviously, NFL draft, anything can happen. Do I think he was going to be the number 1 pick? I know it was talked about, but, there's all these factors. The thing that was shocking, obviously, was teams like the Steelers and the Saints who could use a quarterback who could have had a good situation. They both passed on him. So to Eric Dickerson's point, you got to wonder if there's some collusion by the NFL because for a guy who he played very well in the preseason, and he only comes in now 4th on the depth chart. Now, as of today, Cleveland trades Kenny Pickett to the Raiders, which clears another spot. Tyler Huntley is released. He's gone. Shedeur only slides up to 3rd. You got Dylan Gabriel. Again, I'm not bashing Dylan Gabriel, but compared to the 2 of them, I like Shedeur a bit more than Dylan Gabriel in the preseason. You got Dylan Gabriel slated at the number 2 spot, still over Shedeur. Like, what does this guy have to do? And I mean, again, what if even if Dylan Gabriel gets hurt, what's he still going to be the 3rd guy? They'll put the punter or kicker in between. I think that for whatever reason, again, it could be a lot of things. I think Shedeur's, and again, maybe it's the pressures of being a son of a Hall of Fame. We'll do one better. Talk about collusion. I mean, now again, I don't condone what he did. Look at his brother. Look at Shiloh. They had that fight with Buffalo. They cut him the next day. Okay. Now, a little bit different circumstance because obviously it's a fight. You don't want to see that kind of stuff. So if the Bucks are acting strictly on that behavior, it makes sense. But according to what even the terms like with that, same thing like Shedeur with the Browns roster, say he never had a chance. It's sounding like, at least what I heard trickling out, was that the Bucks were set at that secondary position where it's almost like Shiloh didn't have a chance either. So what is this against the Sanders fan? Like what? And now apparently they have their rights were bought out by the Toronto Argonauts. If they go to play the CFL, are they preparing that they both could be out of the league with no team? You know what I mean? Like so.
Right.
So for Eric Dickerson's point, I don't like to say it all the time publicly, but collusion does kind of make sense. It just all the evidence suggests that based on what these actions. It gets crazier every time we see something about the Sanders boys, one or both of them in the news. And even to Hushmanzada's point, it almost feels like he was set up to fail because Cleveland's not a hard situation. And again, even to start, they had an open quarterback competition and keeping 4 quarterbacks. Now you had Flacco back. He led them to the playoffs not long, it was a year or two ago. So you know what you have there. You know Deshaun Watson's not playing this year. And then my other thing was too is, you trade for Kenny Pickett and you still bring in Tyler Huntley. Well, are you not big on these rookies then? Because they're not even getting, like he said, who's going to play? You should let them split time, but they're not even getting any time to play and playing with guys who are going to end up on the street. So what's the value of that? What's giving them a fair opportunity? Like when Shedeur Sanders was he had a chance to, during the practice, I think it was the second week or something of the preseason where he was working with the first team's scouting rep and everything. Well, that's good because now he's working with the guys who will be on the field regularly and you can see what the chemistry is going to be. It's really going to test his, see what he's all about because that's obviously a part of the league. But when you see these little things that happen, and again, for these are not huge organizations. They're not like a lot of these other big teams that are starting. And obviously, Cleveland's not winning a Super Bowl. We know that. We said that before too. So you're trying to establish an identity, and if you're not sure who you're going to have at the helm behind center, because obviously Flacco is a stopgap. He's not going to be there 2, 3, 4 more years. And it's almost like the Trevor Lawrence situation. If you don't find a guy that you're confident in, what's Cleveland going to do? They're going to go right back to the drawing board and be like, well, who's going to be a quarterback? We got to take somebody.
It's a weird situation.
Yeah.
Because it just, because you hear one thing like when the draft came out that teams was telling each other like, hey, don't take Shedeur, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and all this type of jazz. I thought that was known. I thought me and Flowers and RC, we talked about this a couple months ago after the draft, where we heard that teams were like saying we're not gonna take Shedeur, blah blah blah. And then I hear that he skipped a lot of interviews with teams,
right?
Which you shouldn't do as a quarterback. You take every interview as possible.
Yep.
Just in case you never know what might happen. Like we saw Lamar slide in the draft. We saw Aaron Rodgers slide in the draft. So if he would have took the pre-measures of doing all the interviews,
it might have helped.
He probably went, it might have helped. So I'm kind of torn, conflicted about what's going on, like what's true and what's not true.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
I kind of get it. Like, why play Flacco? Because you already know he's gonna be the starter going into the season.
What's
the
point?
Why you bring him out in preseason? Like, what's the point?
Because his year could be over. He could got hurt and been done, and then you're stuck with Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel anyway.
You knew you're not going to keep Kenny Pickett. You could have been made that trade. When you drafted Shedeur, you could have gave away Shedeur then. I mean, you could have gave away Kenny Pickett then.
Yeah, you could have got a better pick probably at that point. So
so you could have made a trade during the draft.
Why wait?
You knew you were going to take Shedeur. Why wait? You knew you were going to get rid of Kenny anyway.
And the thing was too is they bring and here's the other thing. Like you probably think about this too. Why would you draft? They drafted Dylan Gabriel, and then they drafted. Well, if you already drafted a rookie quarterback, why are you taking 2 then? Like it's almost like a slap in the face because. And if I'm Shedeur going in like, oh, you passed on me, and then you take a different rookie quarterback, and then you come back to me, oh, now we'll take you. It's almost like you're getting picked for dodgeball last. Oh, well, because you're the last one there, we'll take you. You feel like the fat kid at the end of the line, like, okay, like why bother? Like especially because what I'm looking at too, it's like, and I will give Shedeur credit, he's been taking it at least from what the interviews he's given and talked about, he's taken on professional level. Same thing. I want to earn my spot. I want to work hard at it, which is a good attitude. Even if they took 3 quarterbacks, there's going to be competition, but I just don't. And then when they asked Andrew Berry that, like, would you keep 4 quarterbacks? Well, why are you keeping 4 quarterbacks? That's a wasted roster spot because you could use that somewhere else because injuries are going to happen. You're going to have to cut one of these guys at some point. So I just think the whole thing got out of hand. I think it was mishandled, and for whatever reason, we could talk about it till the cows come home. But I think at the end of the day, and if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I'm listening. Look, you know what? Going in as number 3, obviously that's where the depth chart is at. It's going to be a long season. Will Flacco hold up? Don't know. And even when they start, if they do end up starting, say, Dylan Gabriel, you're still sitting on the bench, just like Tom Brady used to do in the days. And he said, I prepared any chance my moment came, I want to be ready. Doesn't matter when it is, doesn't matter how it happens. But I'm not going to, you're not going to sit around. Why sit around and sulk about it? You're in where you're at. Just be focused, be professional, be prepared. And, maybe one day, I'm not saying this because, again, it's hard to say, but he could have, maybe we see the struggles he has now. Maybe he has a Tom Brady-esque type career. He's that underdog story that, nobody wanted him. Or like the Kurt Warners, nobody wanted him. He comes out, undrafted, and he's got to fight for a roster spot. Nobody wants him. He's stocking shelves, until he gets a chance in the league, and then he wins, he goes to 3 Super Bowls. Again, anything's possible, but I think for Shedeur, that's the best thing is try to block out the noise. And again, think of it as an audition too, because maybe if Cleveland moves on after this year and they decide he's not worth it, there's going to be teams out there that are going to be watching you saying, hey, we need a guy. Maybe our guy that we thought we had isn't enough. We could make a call. We could say, this kid, he's a professional. He's a pro. He's taking his like a champ. Blah 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 blah. You could audition for somewhere else. So despite all the mounting evidence against you, I think you just have to just persevere, push on, and you're in the NFL. What can I say?
Yeah, Browns, they just can't be this dumb.
You would think.
Because they just couldn't be this dumb, man. Like, if you're going to play Shedeur like this, don't even draft the guy. I mean,
exactly.
If you're going to sabotage him, that's what they clearly doing because TJ, he made some good points.
He did, yeah.
If you're going to do this, like, why continue to screw your franchise? You already done this with Baker. You think you'll learn your lesson by screwing over Baker. They're like, hey, guys, let's not mess around here. And if Shedeur is the guy, let's really see he's the guy.
And yet they don't want drama. They don't want any drama, though, but yet they're causing it. So
yeah, they causing it. Dylan Gabriel did have a good preseason. I think
wasn't bad. No,
versus the Eagles, he wasn't bad, but again, give each guy a fair shot.
At it.
Don't play Russian roulette with these quarterbacks. Say, come out. Flacco is our guy. He took us to the playoffs 2 years ago.
We're rolling with him. You're right.
2 years ago. So we roll with him.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you even say like
no other team's doing this, like you know your guy. You already know who your guy is, except for the Saints. Saints the only team that did that.
Exactly. And the funny thing with that story too is I almost heard it sounded like this was going to be a thing. They almost say like Deshaun Watson has a chance to come back on the roster over Shedeur. Come on now. Like if that's going to be the case too, like that's really a slap in the face because you know that they're going to have to move on from him. Like that's really a dig at him. Same thing with the Gabriel comments. And again, I don't think it wasn't entirely at Shedeur, but I almost feel like they're all buying into this media frenzy, this media circus that is causing drama. You don't want drama. Well, you're feeding the fire here. You're not putting the fire out. You're fanning the flame, and it's starting to make noise. Because what are we seeing? Most of the articles on ESPN is about the Browns quarterback situation.
Right. That's why you lay in the rest. You don't play all these games. I mean, it's your quarterback. You like a guy. You see a guy like, oh yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
we running with that guy. It's not like, okay, Dylan Gabriel, okay, Shedeur, okay, Flacco, okay, Huntley. Like, no, I'm pretty sure the coach already have it in his mind who he really wants.
Yeah,
like you don't have to play me. You don't have to play. You can play your fans, but you don't have to play these games with us to say okay, here Shedeur, he's kind of wonky playing with the third team. Let's see what he can do with the first team. So that is just. It's just Browns are being the Browns when they don't have to be the Browns. You get what I'm saying? Like they doing stupid stuff when they don't have to do it.
Exactly.
They don't have
and
to.
Hopefully they'll learn. And I do, like I said, I really hope for Shedeur's sake. I hope it's not, I don't want to say a career ender. I hope it's not a black mark that's going to hurt you. But like, listen, you know what? You're young. If the team moves on, there's plenty of other teams that are going to need quarterback down the road. So keep your head high and just really work at it, because at some point your opportunity is going to come one way or the other. So, I know it's tough though. You got, even though all the pressure's on your back, because, I'm the son of a Hall of Famer and all that stuff. Give yourself the best chance. Yeah, just be you. Be professional. If you get on camera, if they interview you at practices or games during the week, just take the high road. Try to be positive, even though it's difficult. And then you never know what kind of doors that'll open after the season. Maybe the team will trade you. Maybe they'll move whoever. Maybe teams are going to be calling the Browns like, "Hey, we're desperate. We need a guy. We want this. We'll give you." We'll give you an asking price for a good draft pick or, something, which could be the Browns' chance of, okay, well, at least we can get something back. And we know we don't want to use him or we're going to move on from him, but we can get something to help the franchise. So, I think that's going to be his big challenge for this year specifically. And now, again, we don't know. Flacco might not hold up the whole season. And, let's say he gets hurt, not wishing it, but, if it could happen, maybe Dylan Gabriel comes in. Maybe he struggles to. Shedeur will be the only one left. So make sure you're prepared. Study the playbook. Get in the quarterback room. Be attentive during practice and stuff. Yep. Just make sure you're ready, because if your number is called, this could be a shot for you to prove them wrong. The naysayers, to prove them wrong. So don't let it discourage you. Move on. You can do this. A lot can happen.
Yes, sir. So we shall see how the Browns go into
Time will tell. We'll see what comes in the news about them next week.
All right. So if you haven't heard, Spencer Rattler was named the quarterback for New Orleans Saints.
Yep. Saw that today.
Chuck is second on the list. Sound Pro, did the Saints make the right decision to name Spencer Rattler the starting quarterback?
Well, considering you don't want to necessarily it's a tough decision. They didn't have a lot of options there. Let's just be honest, okay? As you're young, and so obviously you don't have the breezes. Derek Carr is not there. You missed out on, I forget all the other rumors that could have. Rodgers even was talked about, didn't go there. You're in a transitional phase. Kellen Moore, good coach. I mean, the Saints are one of those teams. You're still building your identity up. You got aging players like Cam Jordan and Alvin Kamara, so you're not going for a championship window. I think for New Orleans, especially considering that division, and look at the Falcons, they're giving Michael Penix a shot, so they like what they see there. Bryce Young, Carolina is still trying to give him in that fold to try to see if he's the guy. So I think for New Orleans, it's a good move, at least so if he's going to be your future. Is he going to be your mainstay? I'm not of the popular belief that's the case. Again, he's young. You got to see what he's going to do. They drafted Tyler as well. Maybe he's the guy. Who knows? But considering what your options were, and it came down to those two, I don't like to throw too many of the younger guys who are not as experienced into the fire right away unless you have to. So, but you're also, again, no offense to Saints fans, no, but to anybody, but it's like you're not going for a title this year. So you at least want to find who that guy is, because, not to jump on the bandwagon of the rumors, but the Arch Manning rumors have been circulating there that he could be a top target for next year. Which, again, you want to at least, if I'm New Orleans too, if I'm who's the GM now? Is it still Mickey Loomis?
Yeah, Mickey Loomis.
If I'm him, I'm thinking, you know what? We'll give these younger guys a shot for the year, because the season is pretty much forfeit. We know that you don't have high expectations. So we need to start finding our foundational quarterback now, and because also you realize, and again, I know this sounds bad, but you could have a top 10 pick next year if you. Not tank necessarily, but you don't have a great season. Top 5 even, right. So, and if Arch Manning is if rumors are true, if he's on the Saints draft board in a year, if you think he could be like his grandfather, Archie Manning, back in the day, maybe he's heir apparent, it couldn't be necessarily a total loss. So you had to make a decision. Kellen Moore had to make a decision. I hope he does well. Spencer Rattler's got a lot. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, obviously, but where New Orleans is at, there shouldn't be as much of, oh, he's got to prove a lot. He's got to win right away because, they're trying to rebuild. They're going to have to replace more pieces. So I think it's a good move, and I think for New Orleans, it'll help them determine what they do come 2026 with whatever draft picks, are available. So that's just me.
Yeah, with the Saints, how they handled this situation is kind of stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with, let's go back all the way to the draft. So there was rumors that they wanted Jackson Dart.
Yep.
So they took an offensive tackle in the first round. I don't understand if they knew they weren't going to play their top pick quarterback in the upcoming season, then why did you take Tyler Shough in the second round? You could have moved up.
Yep.
You could have moved up, got Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Sat Jackson Dart for the year, just like you doing Tyler Shough. He could have been a project, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But you wasted your time going after a guy in the second round who didn't have the best combine.
No, he didn't.
Who had had 3 season-ending injuries at Louisville. Who is 26 years old. You went with an older guy, and now you're like, okay, we're gonna let him sit. How many years you gonna let him sit? I mean, the dude's 26. You don't have that many years in him to play, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's like. It blows my mind that if Jackson Dart was the guy, then you should have got Jackson Dart. That would have been the most logical sense to me.
Yeah.
Was draft Jackson Dart, let him sit the year, just like the Giants doing. Have a veteran, bring in a veteran, New Orleans. Let the veteran play that season. Then you let Jackson Dart take over. Shoot, you could have did that with Shedeur. Shedeur's sitting right now. You could have brought in Shedeur, let him sit. He dropped to the 5th round. You could have got him in the 5th round. You had plenty other rounds to get Shedeur.
They passed up on him even. Yeah.
They passed up on him. So you could have let the guy sit for a year and whatever y'all need to do, bring in the veteran, let the guy play. But you go with Spencer Rattler, and I know a lot of Saints fans like, well, he played with the second screen. The whole team was injured. Man, I seen this guy play in person. Was not impressive. I don't give care you get the guy the first team.
Yeah,
he is not impressive.
No.
So it blows my mind that he might not even finish the season as starter. Tyler Shough might come in at week 6 or 7 or 8. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you prepare for your future by drafting the guy you really want. I mean, we missed out on Patrick Mahomes because we waited. We missed out on Lamar because we waited. We missed out on Jackson Dart because we waited. If you want your guy and he gonna be in the future, you draft him. You move up, you get him, and let him sit the year. It's not hard, guys. Y'all making GM and drafting so hard. I don't understand.
I've been doing it for years on Madden. It's not that difficult. It's simple science. You know what I mean?
Look,
like,
you know what I'm saying? I play fantasy football. I know this totally completely different. But if I have my eyes on a guy, I say, okay, I can get him in the 3rd round. I can get him in the 4th round. But I want that guy. And I move up. If I do what I got to do to draft him. If I got to draft him a little bit early,
that's what I do.
I don't care. I would get my guy. And
if
somebody that you really wanted, then you should have got him.
That's what I do. Like, whenever I do like a fantasy draft, obviously it's hard because especially like in the first round, a lot of good players are going to fly off the board. So I prioritize what I need. And then what I also do is I don't just pick one. Let's say if I'm going to start with, I know I want my quarterback right away. Okay. I'm going to pick at least 2 or 3 options I'm going to keep on my board to track them because I don't know what other guys are going to draft. They might steal one of these guys. I don't know. So I got to have options.
Right.
But if one of these 3 is still left, I had a draft one year where I think it was it running back? It was one of the other positions, and I'm like, I need this badly. Like, it was getting to the later rounds, and I'm like, there's still a few good ones out. I prioritized. I picked, I think I had 5 or 6 on my board. Well, I saw they're going off. I'm like, oh shoot, people are taking these guys. So as luck would have it, one or two was still left. Now I needed like kicker and defense. I'm like, no. I have this pick now. This guy I want fell to me here. I'm taking the running back. That's more of a priority than a kicker at this point. Like you could sign anybody off for free agency.
And that's what I'm saying. Tyler Shuck in the second round.
Yeah,
Jackson Dart, we know to get Jackson Dart in the first is 10 times better than taking Tyler Shuck.
And they could have done it.
Round, who's 26. They could have done it.
They could have done it.
Now he's not even good enough to win the starting job over Spencer Rattler.
Yes.
He's not even good enough. You hear what I'm saying right now?
Yeah, and who else was there? They had nobody else. I mean,
to win the starting job. And Jackson Dart looking over there like Josh Allen throwing for 300 and some yards and 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
The Saints, they make me so mad sometimes because of the bonehead moves they make instead of taking a clear, acceptable choice of doing the right thing. Us fans do the right thing, Saints. If you want Shedeur, it's Shedeur and Jackson Dart. Those are the 2 best quarterbacks after Cam Ward. You got to get one of those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Then here come the Saints. Hey, we're going to do something different. Hey. They in the meeting room. You know what, guys? How you thought about this? We go take Tyler Shuck.
Who?
Yeah, I bet y'all. I bet y'all ain't think of that, huh? This will throw everybody off. This is a big surprise. Saints fans gonna love it because we are thinking outside the box.
It's like
we're gonna go take Tyler Shuck here and just throw a rich and throw everybody surprised. Trust me, it's a smart move. It's smart move. You gotta trust me on this.
It's like that movie. It's like Draft Day with Kevin Costner, where he wants to pick everybody else in the draft room. Is like, why are you taking this guy? Why are you taking Vontae Mack? It's the guy I want. Forget what everybody else is saying. I'm taking him, no matter, you know what I mean? But that's what makes you wonder, though. And that's what makes me think the Arch Manning rumors might not be totally far-fetched, because they have to have some idea. Because think about it, you say logically, look at these guys, and again, it's no knock on the players. It's purely talent from a football standpoint. These guys, neither one of these guys is going to be a franchise guy, at least the way it looks right now. They could be surprised. You never know. But unless you're planning now, that also makes the situation with Shedeur interesting, because let's just say hypothetically, maybe the Saints have injury plague riddle. Maybe both guys get hurt, whatever. There's nobody on the market. Do you call Cleveland and say, hey, listen, because obviously Jackson Dart is not going to be part of the Giants have a plan there. But if Cleveland is not sold on Shedeur, do the Saints one of those teams like, hey, listen, I know you're rolling this guy. You like this other kid. You're not sure. What do you give us for him? Seriously, just spitballing. If you're maybe it's close to the trade deadline, which is almost midway through the season, and let's just say, I know it's a stretch, but the Saints might have a playoff shot, hypothetically. Do they make that move? And then they reassess at the end of the season going, all right, now we can at least, we don't finish and we're not going to get the pick that we want. Maybe Arch is not in the cards because he's not going to fall past 5 or 10, whatever. Right. Maybe we roll with Shedeur. There's all these things that it's early on. The season hasn't begun. It's starting soon, but maybe there's opportunities where these things could happen. Who knows? But again, I'm with you there with the whole, you think the obvious choice would be there, and yet they still do everything backwards. Like
I said, it don't make any sense to what they're doing here. Like I said,
none at
Tyler
all.
Shook can get out Spencer Rattler. Tyler Shook supposed to be hey, he's that good at 26.
Give him a shot.
He's supposed to be,
yeah.
He's supposed to be an older, he's supposed to be how James Daniels, he's older. Some of these other quarterbacks that came out older, he's supposed to be like that. He's seasoned enough to come beat Spencer Rattler out of his job. And he was not able to do that. And so that's, like I said, that take me back to what are the Saints doing? If Jackson Dart was there and you thought he would be the next guy, then you do that. You don't just sit there and okay, the Giants took Jackson Dart, so what should we do? Oh, they panic and took Tyler Shook. Okay, how about we just not take a guy this year in the draft? We could have got Tyler Shook in the 3rd or 4th. You know what I'm saying? You do not take this guy in the 2nd round who cannot be out Spencer Rattler. Nobody thought of this guy.
That's a wasted pick.
Thought of this guy. Nobody had this on their mock drafts. Nobody seen this coming. I surely didn't. I almost they very glad on how them win. I probably would have broke my set over here because I think Tyler Shook come off the board.
Well, you know what that's like. Yeah, they know that's like that. As you say, that's a lot and again, he turned out to be great for them. But let's just go back a few years, with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, now Carson Wentz was still the guy at that time. Now the Eagles had the second round. They had a second round pick. They need a receiver. They need an offensive line. Now you're telling Wentz that he's the guy, right? So you got your quarterback is what they're claiming. And you have clear needs. You have holes at these other positions where a number 2 pick in the second round, I think it was, what was he, the 10th or second round, 10th, whatever it was. That's a pretty good pick. You could get a good player there. You draft Jalen Hurts. You draft another quarterback. Now, again, fast forward, we see how that played out. It worked out for the Eagles. But at that time, and I remember this because I was watching that draft going, even the draft experts were saying the Eagles go quarterback in the second round. They have a guy that they like, supposedly. They have a thin receiving core. They could use another tackle or a guard to bolster that O-line to protect their supposed franchise quarterback. I think there was even some good running backs at that time. You go quarterback. That's like the last position that you needed going into this. You could have traded that pick away even, same thing. So logic really to me, and that's, I go back 25 years. I've been watching football a long time. I've seen a lot of weird things over the last couple of decades. But this just does not, like the Shedeur thing too. You let a guy, the thing that bothered me about that was, again, they took Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur. The Browns had to pick yet again. They skipped him at least once. What does that tell a person? But yeah, Tyler Shough, if you're going to take him, let him start. I mean, what's the point? It's like a wasted opportunity. So, I mean, again, are the Saints purposely trying to tank the year? I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, the way the theory is not, but they just don't make any sense. Maybe we're just not as intelligent as we think we are, but I'm pretty sure I could be smart enough with that pick and not do. I could look at other options outside of Tyler. Again, nothing against Tyler Shough. We're not blaming. It's just purely from a football perception of, and again, New Orleans, you have a lot of shoes to replace. So you got to make a good pick. I think I said what I said too. The Giants missed up. They passed up on Jaden Daniels. They could have had him, and they were going to take him, and then they opted not and then it could be a story. They're going to look back one day going, oh yeah, we could have traded up and taken Jackson Dart. Maybe we should have. Maybe he's the guy they're going to swing and a miss. So it's just weird. I don't understand it, but it's weird.
Man. It's just weird. So.
I don't get. We don't get paid to do that.
Over here got me fired up. They got me fired up. Cause now, I had the Saints predicted at 5-12. Now I got
changing that theory.
I got them 2-15 or something.
So first round pick next year.
Yeah, first round pick, number 1 overall. What's up, RC man? Hey, we missed you tonight. What's up? And shout out to Rio over on TikTok. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Y'all just missed the ultimate rant. Right there.
I know.
So
that's a meme in and of itself right there. You're going to want to catch the replay on that.
To save on time, we won't get into Jerry Jones and Micah. We already know. I think with those guys, I think at the end I think that Jerry Jones is playing like he usually play because he pays Zeke. He did Zeke the same way he did CeeDee Lamb. He did that the same way. So I think, man, Jerry Jones is being Jerry. I think he's going to get the deal done eventually.
Hopefully,
just like the Bengals, they got Trey Hendrickson.
They did, and Terry McLaurin for the Commanders. They got that deal done. He's gonna have. Here's the thing, the nice thing about, I will say, this is the one thing in Micah Parsons' favor is because of the contract situation. Jerry Jones is going to be under pressure, especially from fans, because you got Dak's contract up there, you got CeeDee Lamb. They're still trying to work out those. Least that Micah's got a chance, and I think he should stick to his guns. Don't back down, obviously, because as you saw with Trey Hendrickson, he did get paid. Terry got paid too, so they stuck to their guns. Now, does that mean he misses the season opener? Now, I know what Brian Schottenheimer said. Oh, I'm sure he'll be here week 1. I don't know that. Who else knows that? You think the way that he said, I don't want to be here. He quoted, I do not want to be here anymore. You think that's an idle threat of, I'm just saying that to get more money? He's tired of the drama.
I think because it's rare that a standout player of his caliber get traded like that. I think a lot of you guys just talk. CeeDee Lamb did the same thing. He took all his Cowboys stuff down for his social media. These guys,
that's true.
These big kids. So they when they throw tantrums about more money, eventually they get somewhere close to that number.
They're going to have to do something because either way, the Cowboys can't be having this anchor tied to them. So this has got to resolve at some point in time. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lingering nightmare.
The season start in 2 weeks or a week and a half. So they better get
We'll
moving.
see. Hey, Jerry Jones, TikTok, time's ticking. Hurry up.
All right, we're gonna move on to the AFC East. No, AFC.
West?
I did that wrong.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do AFC South.
Oh,
Sorry,
AFC
guys.
South. Okay.
I've been screwing up lately. Like when I
There's a lot of them. We get it. Yeah, it's fine.
when I uploaded my picture on YouTube, I had Josh Allen. I had labeled AFC South. So I went there and changed that today. I said, okay, it's my bad. It's AFC East. And so today, as I'm making my car, I still put AFC East instead of AFC South. So I've been like, oh my word, it's been brutal. So guys, y'all listen to the show. We're not doing the AFC East. We were doing the AFC South.
AFC South. Okay.
So I have the Texans at 9-8. Okay. They went 10-7 last year. Joe Mixon is gonna be out about 4 weeks. So Nick Chubb's the main guy. Still question marks on the O line.
Right.
Can they hold up? And Texans are playing the AFC, so they see some good defenses. With a pretty good D line.
Yep.
So I don't know. Are they gonna look the same? They lost Stephon Diggs. They traded another one of the guy, Michi, I think.
John Meacham,
yeah. And
Laramie Tunsil's gone on that line. He's gone. He was a stalwart there. So
the question mark still remains is about the O-line. If the O-line's still bad, then they're gonna still have some trouble.
Yep.
All right. I have the Colts at 8-9. They went 8-9 last year. I mean, you're rolling with Danny Dimes. I know Flowers thinking like trust Dane Don. He just gotta make no throws. He got keep the ball out harm's way. He just gotta right the ship and control the ship. But how Danny Dimes ever did that in his entire career?
I have no comment. I'm not saying anything. So
it's like you're trying to teach your dog a new trick.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much.
Can you still teach the dog a new trick? Yeah, but it's gonna take some time. It might, it's gonna take a lot of work. And so all I gotta say, Colts, they just need to run the heck out the football and just not.
Jonathan Taylor's gonna be tired. He's gonna be tired at the end of the year, but
he's gonna be tired. He's gonna get his cardio in for sure. Danny Dimes just gotta take care of the football and not make bonehead throws. Hopefully, AR can get his mind right and get back on track. Cause the coach need him.
I don't know.
Dimes is not the answer. He is not the answer. He's not even talking about Band-Aid to his team.
But they're talking about moving on from AR. So you better do something quick. Try to right that ship. Because
the Colts, they have a team that's set up to win. I mean,
they're not bad.
They only lost to the Texans on a bad pass.
Yeah.
So thrown behind Moss. And that was the only reason why they lost. And they were about to beat the Texans, who was hot that year.
Yeah.
So they're
not that far away.
They added secondary pieces that we already know they got good linebackers and a good D line.
Their front,
They are poised to make a jump, but the quarterback
they need that quarterback
holding them back.
Yep. They need that quarterback. Yeah. So buckle up, Colts fans.
I have the Jazz at 7-10.
Okay.
I feel like they went 4-13. They're not gonna go 4-13 again. They got a little bit better pieces.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen, he's known for running the football, so he's gonna have Travis Etienne looking way better than he was last year.
Travis Hunter will help. Yep. I think Travis Hunter will help.
And Tank Bigsby there. So
that'll help.
I could see them having a better game, a better season.
Yep.
They have the Titans at 6-11. They went 3-14 last year. The Titans should be a little bit better. That defense was competitive. Tony Pollard, he went off last year. Tajay Spears, he's hurt right now, but Tony Pollard is way capable of carrying the load for them.
And Van Jefferson had a heck of a catch that last game there. So I mean, they got some talent at receiver. So you never know.
So it's gonna take some time with this team. So they win 3 more games than last year. So that is my AFC. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say my only comment for the Titans is the only person going to suffer and he's going to have growing pains will be Cam Ward. But I think if he hangs in there, they got potential there. So
Yeah, they do.
Just
They
give
do.
it time. Give it time.
So first, I have the Texans, Colts, Jags, and Titans. Same standings as last year, unless the
Okay.
Jaguars just really surprise people.
Yeah.
That's what I say. That would be the only team to just like.
Well,
That
it is
can
make or
probably
break
do
here for
something.
Trevor. Who knows? Maybe he'll step up. It got to happen sometime or not. So
He
possibly.
need to step up.
Yeah. Otherwise, this could be a new quarterback there next year. But no, I would say. Let's see.
What'd you give my grade? What grade you would give me?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, based on that, and again, just minor adjustments which I would make. I would give it an A. Because again, we look at the competition. Obviously, Houston's going to be the favorite there. They're just they're probably, despite the losses that they took in some of the key positions. I still think they got CJ Stroud is there. I like what D'Amico Ryans has done there. I think he's put together a nice little. They had the playoff run with this past year. They're good. I still think they got some growing pains to get through, and then outside the Colts. The Jags are going to struggle, and obviously Tennessee is still they're kind of reworking themselves. So I think it's going to be a little bit before they're in competitive mode. So, and I will say this: I'm not a huge fan of Daniel Jones, but he's still in a pretty decent situation because, again, if he plays it smart, protects the ball, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, the Colts, the rest of the team can play around him, so they don't necessarily need him to be the savior there, for lack of a better term. But the guy, I do feel bad. I feel bad for Anthony Richardson, and I'm like, you know what? It's hard, and it's got to be discouraging too. But I've heard from what he said, he's still got a positive mindset, which is good for you. You still got to try to bounce back. Whether or not you're there next year, if the Colts do move on, it's going to be what it's going to be. You could still make it work. You could revive your career elsewhere. We've seen it happen before. But I mean, again, I think that, and anything can happen. We know that, but you just know there's some divisions that are just so bad. Like I said, even the one, what was it? Was it two? No. Well, was it 2000 and was it 6 or 7? One of those years, I think it was the Seahawks that won the division at 7-9. It was a bad year in that division.
Yeah, they beat the Saints in the playoffs.
Yeah. But it's if you know a division is bad, if your division winner, the number one team in that division is 7-9, that's bad. That's under 500. So, when you start seeing things like that, it kind of concerns you. But, I think, again, Houston will run away with that. Colts, you never know. But I think A is a good grade. I think that's, I don't see much change there other than maybe a few differential numbers and wins and losses. But unless the Jags have a big year to step up, they're not going to be leapfrogging anybody. So that's probably the only other competition. So no offense to Titans fans. I'm saying I think the team is getting there, but you need to give Cam a year. You got to give him a year under his belt to, get acclimated. And that could be a fun.
They shouldn't expect much from the Titans.
No,
Cam Ward,
but it could be fun though. It could be fun. Give him a few years. Cam Ward and CJ Stroud battling in that division for years to come. That could be something worth waiting for. So, you got options, but I'll say, hey, I like it. I think Titans will get in. No wild card there, even though there's a wild card spots. I don't think there's going to be maybe the Colts though. I mean, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to throw it out there, but maybe the Colts, if they surprise people, they could slide in as a wild card. So maybe there's that. But
maybe.
I know. I'm not trying to be too generous, but I don't want to get people's hopes up. But stranger things have happened. So, but I'll say AFC South grade is an A. That's a safe, solid grade.
All right. We're gonna move on to overtime.
Ooh.
Let me see if I have the video. Oh, I think I do have a video. I have a segment called Overtime, and here it is. All right, so what's Raja Jackson? Raja? That's
Raja Jackson.
Yeah, Raja Jackson. I don't know if y'all saw the video, but he's in some serious trouble. And I put together all the pieces for y'all so y'all can see what happened before, in between, and after.
And after.
So,
Yep.
So here it is.
Mm.
On me? Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't show it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it? No, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, I will fuck him
we're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will.
Nah.
We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that.
Nah, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. So I got you.
I do not play that shit at all.
Nah, I got you. You good. Apologize for that, man. Fix that. Fucking seal that.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out.
Yeah, hello. I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were camera.
I get it.
We're not working out. Well, he's gonna come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're always working.
I'll stop it right there for YouTube purposes.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So he threw after that. I showed the first two punches, but he threw about 20 something.
He kept going. Yeah. Yep.
Kept going on the guy. Sam Crow, man. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't blame him for being upset. I mean, that whole instance outside there with the drink was unnecessary, was uncalled for. Now, I don't know. My initial thought was the guy maybe was a little tipsy if they're drinking, perhaps. Maybe he wasn't fully aware. And it seemed like I liked his approach where, I mean, he's vocalizing his displeasure. Anybody would. But they shook hands. They kept it calm. The thing about that is that's also, and this is where it's almost like, I hate to use this as an example, but the Will Smith situation, okay? Now, whether or not it was staged or not, it was public. You saw this, what happened with the Chris Rock situation, okay? I'll say the same thing I would say here, all right? Obviously, retaliation doesn't solve anything. Now, again, I know the comments Chris Rock made. I'm not saying he was right. I think it could have been handled, if it was truly real, aside from the possibility of a stage, I think you settle it off camera because people are going to see this, right? And it made a huge thing at the Oscars for that when that happened, and everybody all across America saw it, not just who was there physically. And so my take for that with Raja is his reaction when he climbed into the ring there and did what he did. Poor etiquette for me in that case, because you can be upset. You did talk it out. You talked to him. Maybe you're still bitter. You still hold a little bit of a grudge. But when you go in there and you knock a guy down and then you're wailing on him when he's defenseless and he's down, for me, I don't tolerate that kind of stuff. It's just unnecessary violence. It's almost like it's the Myles Garrett situation with Mason Rudolph, slamming him with the helmet and everything, ripping his helmet off and hitting him with it. Or Rob Gronkowski that time with was it Buffalo when Tom Brady got intercepted and they tackled him out of bounds and Gronk slams the guy at the ground, gives him a concut. There's no calling for that stuff. So for Raja Jackson, again, your feelings are valid. I think it was a dumb move by this guy to throw a drink on you, whatever the reason was, excuse, etc. But you should have let it go after you shook hands, talked about it. If you were still upset, you find him later and you talk to him about it. You don't make a television spectacle because people are watching. Mm-hmm. And it was more of a message and a statement too, because you get a few shots in, but he kept going. If the guy's already unconscious, you're knocking him out. You could kill the guy. I mean, you're wailing on him, right? And I was impressed. He picked the guy up and body slammed him. I'm sure he could throw some punches wailing it. You got to rein it in a little bit, all right? And again, feelings aside, there comes a line you just can't cross. So I like the way it started. I thought it ended well. And I was going to say initially, I don't blame him entirely, but then when I saw the response back, that was a very poor decision on him to get in the ring and get it personal. And especially, and then too, people are witnessing. I mean, I know it was probably in shock, but like letting this happen too. So I think there's a lesson there. And I would hope he learns from it and it doesn't taint his career moving forward. Kind of stuff can't be tolerated. And if you're as a pro, like an athlete, you're an example for other people. You got to step up and rise above that stuff. You can't let your emotions get the better of you. Again, we're all human beings. We have feelings, but some of us are idols to others. Like, what if kids are watching that, right? Like, what if you had kids watching
Kids
that?
were watching, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the message there? What are you telling them? You know what I mean? And I'm sure he wasn't thinking that clearly in the moment. He let his emotions, he flew off the handle. But repercussions, consequences. So again, I'm not saying he's totally wrong. It was a bad situation to have something thrown at you. But I think you came back and you're showing retaliation was the poor choice ultimately.
Terrible situation all around. Totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
From Roger. I mean, you cannot do that. You cannot. It was
There's no excuse.
Move. Yep. That was a pump move by him because the dude thought you was a wrestler, so he did the bit. It was a can that was already busted up. And
right.
I guess he was showing the art of busting can with his head. Okay, if you thought at that very moment he was being very disrespectful to you, you shouldn't handle him at that very moment. You should have fought him right then and there. If it was so much of a disrespect to you and your manhood and your pride, then you should have fought him right then and there.
Right. Not sucker
take
punch.
The apology. Not take the apology. The whole apology. He said, "Hey, I'm sorry, dude. I thought you were working. I saw the cameras.
And
we
you
always
shook
working,
hands.
blah, blah, blah." And they shook hands. And you agreed to it. You agreed to let it go.
And then you didn't.
You're 25 years old. You're 25 years old.
You know better.
Sucker move.
Sucker punch. Yep. That was a sucker punch, essentially.
Move, man.
Yep.
That was a snake move. And you had it, y'all defuse it. So in the dude's mind that everything's all good.
Right. He never saw it coming. Yeah.
And that's where you messed up at. When you shook the dude hand. If, like I said, if things wasn't good, then you should shook the dude hand.
Don't shake his hand.
Where I got into it people before. I have been in fist fights before. And when things got good, heated, and dude tried to shake my hand, said, "No, bro, I ain't shaking your hand off that bull crap. I ain't shaking your hand. Cause nothing, it ain't good. It ain't good. We ain't good." You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say he did a sucker move by shaking the dude's hand. Things won't good.
I agree.
You stay on there, you stand on your manhood and you fight it out right there. You handle your business right there, not when the dude got his back turned.
Exactly.
You get in his face and y'all fight it out right there.
Yeah.
And now he's looking like even bigger of a tool because of what he did.
Yep. He's the jerk now.
And now he's looking at jail time because he attempted murder and aggravated assault.
Could have killed the guy.
Let's be real. You could have killed the guy. I heard that the wrestler already had concussion prior or something like that. So when you bites on the dude, you knock him unconscious, right? Kept him in the face. And the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, what in the world is going on? And why is taking people their sweet, precious time to get the dude off of him? Like, why is it taking?
Let's just sit here and wait. Like, geez.
Like, who are y'all waiting on? Y'all scared that y'all might get beat up? Dude,
see, if that was me, I would have been jumping on him, going, "Whoa, knock it off!" You know, geez.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to fight it out. You know what I'm saying? Till some more people come. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bad situation all the way around. Yes, the wrestler wrong for not even knowing the guy and him in the head.
Right.
Okay, that was a dumb move.
But you bury the hatchet, and if you do that, you let it go. Then.
And now Jackson, even in Rampage, Jackson came out and trying to say that his son messed up, and now he's trying to say sweep on real, like it's not all that, it's not terrible.
Too little, too late though. Now
he's trying to take up for him.
Yeah.
And now it's so many things that could have been prevented in this situation.
Yep. Now, see, even
But
with
of
that,
course,
though, that's the thing that bothers me. Again, I know it's the father looking out for the son, but where is Raj? Like, where's the comment? I want to hear from him. If you thought you were wrong, like, where's the remorse coming back?
he said that he did this because he's tired of people picking on him. He's tired of people thinking he's a joke.
That's
They
the excuse, man.
can
Come
bully
on
him.
now.
He said he's scared. Yeah, that's the excuse. Like, and I heard somebody say this when what he did to that guy is he really wanted to do it to his dad, because I seen some clips of him and his dad. His dad always like messing with him and bullying
Right.
him some type
I
of
mean, I
way.
get it.
And
But
he brought up that he said that Rampage Jackson, his dad, farted in his face when he was
okay, now
sat at his birthday party.
I get it. Yeah, I
He
mean,
said so. He's saying that he's tired of bullying. I'm like, if you tired of bullying, go fight your dad. If you tired,
right.
if your dad's the bully and you tired of getting picked on, then you that's your beef with that guy. You don't take it out on somebody that you don't hardly know. You took the easy way out, man.
That's exactly.
You picked and chose who to mess with. That's what it is.
That's
so that
like
makes you even more of a wimp.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like
you chose somebody that's older, and that's when you looking to fight.
Right. Now that's like if
you premeditated right there. You pick and choose who you wanted to mess with.
Now, if you ever had, and I never had this experience because I'm not an only child, but I never had a brother. But let's just say, for hypothetical purposes, you and Deanie had a clash over something, whatever, right?
Oh, we have. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't want to speculate, but I'm sure you have. But you talk it out amongst yourselves. You're not going to go beat up on somebody random because something your brother did.
Beat up my best friend because my brother been picking on me.
Right, but
I'm gonna say something to my brother like, "Yo, I'm tired of this, and I don't care if I get my tail beat. I'm gonna say something to you."
But you're telling I've had that too, where I'm like, I have people coming like, "Why are you airing a grievance at me? I'm not the person that offended you." You know, I mean, like,
right?
I had so many people tell me, "Oh, so and so did this." Why aren't you taking it up with them? Why I wasn't even involved? I wasn't there. Why are you telling me? I can't do anything. So basically, blowing up and people are like, you're yelling in my face. That does nothing, because I wasn't there. I wasn't the one. I wasn't the offending party. I didn't do anything to you. You need to talk to such and such a person, express your feelings. Then their business, because again, at the end of the day, and I hate that when guys do that, when the sucker punch. You can't say it to a guy. I always tell people, if you have a problem, like with me, for example, if I offend you, I'm sorry, but tell me to my face. Don't go behind my back. Which is exactly what Raja did. He hits this guy, sucker punch him when he's not looking. He body slams him, then he wails on. I mean, look, again, that's excessive. That's really excessive force for that when there's no justification. You have a beef, So I'm not saying, and I hope he's okay. I hope this guy, he mends and stuff. But
he finally woke up from his coma.
Which is good. But I hope, and I will say this to Raja again. I don't know him personally, but you better learn your lesson from this. Because you know what? Sometime, if you ever do this again, maybe you will learn too late. You will kill somebody, and then it'll really be too late. So learn. You need to grow up. That is too immature for you at 25 years old.
How to control your emotions. Yep. And then they said that he was on Kid Screen, and everybody egging him on. Like, you gonna let your dude do that to you? You a punk. You blah, blah, blah. You
feed into that. Don't buy into that.
And then like, some boys on the screen that tell you to go do this, they have nothing to lose.
No.
You do. And so that's what I'm saying. You're a sucker and you a wimp because you let chat.
You let the noise get to you.
Something. Like, come on, dude. You gotta think for yourself. You gotta be smarter than that. I'm not gonna let somebody on chat like, hey man, go beat up that dude because he did, man, bump you and that dude. I don't gotta do anything because that's not my problem. We already squashed it. So it's like
that's like school.
People need to stop listening to people online.
Yeah, that's like going to school.
They think you in any type of way. They're not trying to uplift you in any type of way. If somebody tells me to go do something they don't need to do, then block that chat and just be done with it. You don't go listen to chat because telling you like, oh, he disrespected you, you this and that because you didn't handle your business. So
that's
now
like if you
handle your business because somebody said something to you.
Yeah. Now, if you had let's say, I know the answer to this, but let's just say if it was one of your kids and came and said, hey, Dad, listen, I had this problem at school, right? And maybe it was an argument with some whatever. and you say, well, how'd you handle it? Well, I handle it this way, which is not the right answer. Why'd you do that? Well, because my friends were encouraging me to handle it this way. What are you going to tell them? Why would you listen to them? They're not the ones involved in the, you might get suspended if you were in a fight, whatever, like the consequence. And that's something my parents always told me, like, listen, what is that old saying is? I know we've all heard this. I said, well, my friends were doing it. They encouraged me. I did it. Well, if your friends were going to jump off a bridge, would you do that too?
Yeah, would you do it?
You got to think for yourself. I mean, come on.
Like,
now.
I don't see them do in the chat with you, pulling up, like, man, send me the location. I'll pull up, I'll go handle it. I don't see that in the chat talking about, man.
Where are they?
Your business for you.
Oh, me and my friends will. Oh, wait. No, it's just me. So it's like,
they at home eating, watching TV while you sitting in jail.
Yeah.
So like that's junk crazy to me. You 25 years old.
25 years old. You're not 10, like you're not 5.
If you felt like people was bullying, like you been bullying and people don't take you seriously, well, you go talk to those people.
You use words. You don't use fists. You gotta
now,
time and a place.
Fist, you use your fist. But if it's your dad doing that to you or anybody else, then you need to go see them. See about them.
Take it up with him. Yeah.
See about them.
Don't, because again, and like I said, when you look at that and you say, when you're a kid, I mean, kids shouldn't either, but 25, like that's almost like acting like a 5-year-old, because what you're doing is you're throwing a tantrum too late. And, it's just too late. So and that's why I said you had a chance to voice it. If you really were bothered after the handshake, pull them aside, like, listen, man, look, I know we shook hands and I appreciate what you said, but I don't know. For some reason, this still just bothers me. I want to talk to you about it because, this is what I would do. I don't want to have bad feelings, but I want to tell you, it still does rub me the wrong way. Okay, I didn't appreciate it. Maybe I'm taking it a little too personal, but I want to talk it out. I'm not going to walk up to you and punch you right in the mouth after the fact, after you shake hands, kind of thing. Like, that doesn't do any good. So. And like you said, one day
it becomes assault after that.
It does. And again, what happens one day he's in maybe a bar fight, or maybe, what if knives are pulled or guns are pulled? What if it escalates out of control? Like, a lot of things can go wrong really fast. So if you can't control your temper and that's what you're going to do, you're headed down a dangerous pathway because it's only going to get worse.
What's so crazy is Rampage Jackson came out and said that he set a fund, a bail money for his son Roger, because he knew that he had no chance that if he ever get into something that he have bail money for him. And did you know that he set aside a college fund for his mixed Japanese kids because he knew they'll go on and be something? I was like, you gotta be. That's terrible father of the year if I ever heard.
Okay, yeah, that's not. I mean. I don't even know.
A bail fund for one kid because you knew he not gonna turn out right, and you set up a college fund for your 2 missed kids because you they're gonna go to college. They're not gonna do no stupid stuff like that.
That's like saying how they say which kid do you love more? Like, clearly you have a perception, so you can't say, oh well, I don't dislike it. If you got one kid already going to jail, he's going to jail.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
He's not the golden child. He's not the favorite.
That means you're doing a bad parenting job.
Bad parenting, yeah.
Right, and steering the right direction. I mean, this Rampage Jackson here, who has mental issues, I'll say, the way he
probably got to be
on screen.
I just hope, Raja. I really hope, and again, just on the positive side, the end for me anyway, is I hope that. Consequences, so you're going to have to face them. But I hope that, come out, be a better man. Like I said, there's never too late to come back, but learn from your mistakes, please, whatever you do, and get it straightened out now, because this is probably going to be a moment, even if you come back, like I said, the Michael Vick thing on his dog fighting, but it comes back, whatever you do bad, it's going to reflect on you. But it doesn't have to dictate your life going forward. You can determine your future for that. You can change the narrative. You can do a positive thing. You can come back. Mm-hmm. But not if you don't learn from this and you keep repeating this pattern. It's only going to lead you into more trouble, where you do something as bad. Like I said, thankfully that guy didn't die, because that could have been a life-changing event. You do something like that, you can't come back from that. It's really, really almost impossible. So I hope you mature, grow up. Your mid-20s, you're getting closer to 30. You got to grow up at some time. So it may as well start now. So use this time. You go to jail for a bit, even if he gets out or doesn't get out. Use this opportunity and grow, and make sure that you don't repeat bad habits. And big thing there too is if you have certain friends or people following you, block out the noise. Do not listen to people then. If you got to shut social media accounts down, if you got to restrict it, whatever, don't be influenced by other people, because we choose to act, and we are the ones, if we do something, we are responsible for ourselves. So doesn't matter if all your friends told you to do it. End of the day, you threw the punch, you're the one going to jail. Bottom line.
You're a grown man. Make your own decision.
Make your own decision. Think for yourself.
This ain't high school. This ain't peer pressure.
Please.
And that
once was enough of that.
It's just all going to come down to the wrestler. If you want to press charges, somebody said the DA can go out and press charges. So
I can see
what's going to happen with that. All right, man.
Hope he comes back. We'll see.
Tough situation for him, and that's a lesson learned from
for anybody watching or listening,
boys and adults.
Anything you do,
control your emotions, and
please.
Some things you just need to let go, man.
It just ain't worth it. Yep.
All right, we're gonna go to the highlight of the day.
Ooh.
Tell me if you ever seen this before.
Okay. This is awesome. That's awesome. You know what? I got to say this. When I was a kid, played a little bit of soccer. Now, my dad was he played soccer in college. That was his thing. I never cared for soccer too much. I thought it was boring. And if I could have done soccer like that, I probably would have stuck with it, because it's almost like rugby mixed with football, mixed with, it has potential content. I mean, they're full out in boxing gear with gloves on. That's just epic. So I guess, of course I played when I was like 6 years old. I guess they kind of frown on that when you're little kids. But I mean, if I could have done it, so.
I would not be playing that, because to be honest, I wouldn't even be trying to keep the ball. I'd be trying to knock somebody out.
That's right. Yeah. Forget the ball. Come here, man.
I would have been an enforcer, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
Yeah, like hockey, yeah.
Away from the ball. I'm watching my six, you know what I'm saying? Make sure nobody run behind me and try to knock me out. So I ain't worried about scoring.
They'd be like, what are your stats for the year? What do you mean? How many goals did you score? Well, I don't know how many goals, but I know how many guys I knocked out. So
right. I'm an enforcer. That's what I've been bringing to the game.
I don't care about goals. I want to punch teeth out, That's pretty cool. I've never seen that kind of thing. That's epic. I mean,
that gotta be in another country. It's like
I've never seen it in the U.S.
That.
I mean, that's
Americans is not playing that sport.
I mean, please, they give you a red card when you headbutt somebody. You're gonna be throwing punches too, willy nilly. I mean, yeah, I don't see it.
Trust
but
me,
I'll find out where that country is. I want to go. We'll check it out.
we already got enough CTE going around.
Don't add more to it. We don't need to add a whole other sport for that. Yeah.
Mental illness going around. We got enough of that.
Let's not add to it. Let's not exacerbate that. Yeah, please.
All right, man. We were brought to you by Bet Us. We got your game. NFL's coming up. College football's coming up. Well, college football already started.
It did. Yep.
We have Major League Baseball winding down and the WNBA. So place your bets with Bet Us and win some money.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and fantasy sports are coming up. If you haven't started playing yet, get in your league now, because the season's about to start.
Our draft is next week. Well, our draft is this weekend.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I got it penciled in, ready to go.
Yeah, I'll clear off my whole schedule for that.
You got to.
I will not be bothered.
Yep. Leave me alone. I'll make sure I set my timer so I don't fall asleep or miss it, because I don't want to have auto draft hit me again. That was a rough year.
Oh, auto draft sucks, man.
So
I remember one year this guy, he missed the draft. And it was on auto draft. And can I tell you, auto draft picked him a winning team. Like he won the year. With auto draft. I was like, there's no way.
Well, that's why I said like the year we played, it was Big Hoss. In fact, we had like a family league, and so it was me and a couple others, and he totally did not show up. He forgot or he was busy, and we're like, oh, well, he's not there. Well, auto draft gave him. He had like Josh Allen. He had almost all the top picks. He made it to the championship. Now he just lost by like 3 points, so it was a tight one.
Mm-hmm.
And like he didn't. And then the funny thing too is during the season he didn't even change the roster, so the roster stayed. He played through guys that were injured and all that, and he still made it to the championship game. And I'm coming in dead last. I'm like, dude, what the heck? I agonized. I did the draft. I did my homework. I picked all the right players. I changed my lineup every week. I'm like, you son of a gun! You made it to the championship. You did nothing. Like, what's with that?
That's what I call luck right there. Cause
it was unbelievable.
He did it too. He did all draft and he didn't really change the roster, and he went on to win the whole league. And I'm over here dropping players, adding players, trying to figure out things. I'm like struggling. And he over there just
and he's still winning,
cruising to the championship.
I said to him, I said, "How do you think you're doing?" He goes, "Oh, I gave up. I didn't want to." I said, "Well, boy, for a guy who gave up, you're winning by not playing. Like that ain't fair, man."
Right? Maybe if I would try that, I'm going.
I fail
or whatever.
Yeah, I fail miserably. It doesn't work that. I'm not that lucky. It doesn't work for me that way. No,
of course not.
I had the 1 year I did lose. I'm like, no, I had drafted me. Like, I don't know any of these guys. Who did you like? Who auto draft? Who did you pick for me? I don't know these guys. None of the top tier guys. I'm like, who's my team?
And I'm always do me dirty.
Yeah, every time I'm like, that's why I don't play in pay leagues because I never win anything. So for that reason.
I understand that, man. So it was a good show tonight. We hit a lot of big topics. We'll be back. When do the NFL season start?
September 4th.
September the 4th.
Yep.
So
about a week or so ish.
Sam, will you be able to do another show Thursday?
Yeah, I can be here.
So we're gonna do another show Thursday. Come try to knock out these divisions. So we'll see y'all then, guys.
All right.
We out of here.
Happy Tuesday. Good night.